can do it for you.
Baby, don't forget the floor is yours. Yeah, baby, I mean the floor is yours. If it come down to the floor is yours, let me show you how I prove the floor is yours. 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 The floor is yours.
All right, good evening, everybody. Before we get started, I just like to always ask everybody what y'all think about that intro, man. It's one of my hottest tracks.
Yeah, I was about to say run it back.
Run it back, right? We'll do that at the end of the show.
My head, I know you see me bobbing my head to it.
Yeah.
So
I'm literally trying not to really get into it, but I was like, yeah, that's it right.
We'll give you a chance at the end. We'll run it back at the end, and if you want to shake a shoulder or something, man, hey, feel free. Hey, so everybody, welcome to another episode of the Floor is Yours podcast. It's your boy Flex, the producer, my county trusty counterpart. You know, she's not here. She got other commitments. Ladybug, we appreciate everything you're doing out there in the community. I know you're tuning in, and she'll be commenting too. So to Mogul Media, Tamika, we appreciate you as well. The audience, you know the routine. Like, share, tell somebody about it so they can join in on this discussion as well. If you got questions for these great men, please put them in the chat, and we'll be sure to get to as many as we can. So I'll say this. I've had a lot of good people on this show, a lot of good people before, but this is a heavy hitter right here, man. So it's a testament to you guys, man. I've told y'all I appreciate you time and time again. Y'all have a heart to serve. Anytime you're doing it at this level for that long, especially you, Mayor, we appreciate you. So we're just going to give y'all a chance to talk about who you are and, what you do and why you do what you do. And whoever wants to go first.
I'll yield the floor.
I'll jump in.
Okay.
My name is Jamell Johnson. I'm a councilman at large for the town of Little M. I've been a councilman now for a little over a year. Actually, ran in a special election for our mayor seat when he was on council. So it's been quite the privilege and honor to serve Little M. My passion really stems from a child seeing the things that I had to go through in my community in Gary, Indiana. And then when I got to college, I really got involved in social activities, anything that was social, to be able to give my time and be a servant leader. When I had the opportunity to graduate from college and move to Texas, befriended our mayor, and he's just been a role model to me, a really good example of what leadership should look like. And that's kind of why I'm here today. I seen him, and I think we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show, about seeing men that set good examples in our community and how important it is for us to have that representation. So
it's good stuff, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. And Mayor Cornelius, your turn.
Sir, yes, sir. All right. Hey, good evening, everyone. Name is Mayor Curtis J. Cornelius, town of Little Am, the great town of Little Am. Thank you, Councilman Johnson, for those wonderful words. Brother Gerard, we've been doing this for a long time, man. It's always whenever you reach out, hey, if I can make it happen, I'll make it happen. But it's a good feeling, as Jamell said, just to be a servant leader. A lot of people have the misconception that this is these guys are doing it to get paid and pad their pocket. If you only knew. If you only knew, it's not even enough to say we get paid, even to say we get paid. So this is truly about us serving our community, us trying to make sure things are done right, us trying to make sure everybody has a voice, because this is what it's all about. Too long we've been siloed and not felt comfortable with who represents us. So now you have somebody, and you have a couple great people that's willing to be that voice for people, but not only be that voice, allow people to have access to you to feel comfortable. When I first won the mayor's seat, I had people contacting me that had ideas from 3, 4, 5 years ago, but never felt comfortable enough to bring those ideas to the table because they didn't, I won't say they didn't trust their leadership, they just didn't know their leadership.
Yeah.
So what we try and do, man, we try to be everywhere we possibly can, regardless to what event, what venue. We try to make it look like it should look.
Yeah.
Everybody in the community has a voice, and it's our job to show them their worth. And that's why we do it. I've been doing this since 2009. And you know, it's a hard job. It's a hard job, but then when you get good people in office, you get the right people in office. As Jamell came along, you know, he said he's been in office a year, but I promise it feel like he's been here, you know, a whole term, a whole 3 years already. But he brought that fire back in me because I fought the fight for a long time by myself in my thought process. And then you get somebody, a trust factor that shares the same ideas and your direction is the same. So now then you get that spark, you're like, okay, I'm back in the game. Let's go. Let's build this community of unity like it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Let's go. Man, you can tell you've been doing it for a while, man. It was a powerful speech, man. And it was off the cuff. That wasn't even prepared, right?
I don't write speeches.
That's good, man.
And that's gotta get ready, right?
Yeah, you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
So a couple words you used was representation and access. And I know that because sometimes the access piece can, in my mind, it can be overwhelming. So how do you manage those two pieces, being accessible and the representation piece?
It's a lot. But as I said, it's why you do it. And I mean, we're everywhere. We try to be everywhere. All I ask is give me a heads up on where you need me to be. And if I can be there, I will. Now, what does that do? That allows people to understand if he's doing this free of charge, at least I can give them the respect for what they're doing. So is it a lot? It is. You know, I think about, you know, my week, and keep in mind, both of us still work full-time jobs, demanding full-time jobs. And we still allow ourselves to be great representatives here in not just the town of Little Elm, but now we're expanding this. We're trying to bring the entire county together.
Yeah.
And eventually what'll happen is our train of thought, which is get the right people in office to show people their worth, it will just start to illuminate everywhere, not just in Little Elm. Now we're getting Denton County. Now we have the state of Texas. Now we're going on the national level. It's time out for this silo. Yeah. Let's just bring everybody together. Let's try it. Let's try it a different way.
That's good.
And I'll agree. You know, I'll add to that. You know, my military services taught me a lot about time management because we both know, Gerard, as a veteran, that it's a lot. It's a lot while you're in the military and you're trying to manage a lot. But coming into a town where you have so many different moving parts and trying to build regional relationships and still be great representation for your town, I mean, it is hands down. It's hard. It's not easy. But the thing about it is, I mean, nothing in life is easy. I think that you have to have the ability to be able to step up and lead the right way. For a long time, like we see in the world today, it's a lot of divisive leadership out here. But if you have the right people in, the job is a lot easier because we can get out into the community and build relationships. And then not only just build relationships, but count on those relationships to be able to communicate for us sometimes. I talk to you all the time, Gerard. We text back and forth. I know that you are a great community leader. I see the things that you're doing in the community. So you make it easier for us, right? You share our vision, you share our ideas. And I think that's what representation and then that balance of accessibility is like for the community. So
man, it's good, man. Was that prepared?
No,
that wasn't prepared.
We stay ready so we don't have to get ready.
Okay. That's good, man. That's good. And you alluded to your military service, so thank you for your service. There, and you're currently still serving. Is that correct?
So actually, September of 2022, I was done. I'm done with my active years, but I have 2 inactive years where I can be called back. But finished as a first lieutenant. Excited about that. I'm still helping. We've actually formed the Veterans Committee for our town here, so I'm still helping and assisting veterans and bringing that feeling to Little M that veterans need. I think the mayor is really excited about this. We have a lot of things coming down the pipeline as far as programming and stuff like that for our veterans. We actually threw a social event last week on the mayor's birthday, and it was a really good time. So we are actively engaging our veterans and getting them more involved in the community things. And look, we know that they have some concerns and some challenges right now as well, as we look at veteran homelessness and other things that are, far as healthcare, that is preventing them from getting the things that they need. So we're focused on a lot of things and trying to balance a lot of things here. But I think this committee is very strong, and we'll be able to provide the resources to them. So,
yeah, wow, man. Y'all are not short of ideas or opportunities to serve out here. When you think about Little Elm, I know me. I'm thinking like, well, before I came out here, I'm like, it's a rich town. It's people there are well-to-do. They don't need the things that some of the inner city people need. And I've talked to you, Mayor, about it, and that's not the case at all, right?
Man, that's and you grow up, and when you become a parent, you automatically, and not even becoming a parent, but just starting to look at things outside in or inside out. You always want to make it better for the next person. Mm-hmm. So when you look at Little Lamb, and it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money out here. And that's what people focus on. But then when you truly get involved, that's when the eye opener happens. That's when you understand that it's people out here that moved out here to maybe get away from the inner city or give their kids a better chance at life, better school system, a better town, but it didn't change their job. Mm. So I serve on United Way, Denton United Way, board of directors. And that's one of the things we do. I was placed over addressing homeless veteran. So that was kind of how the veteran committee started. I'm not a veteran. Hats off, but I knew Jamell was. Mm-hmm. So just relationship building. It was like, okay, I see a need. I don't know how to address it. Let me lean on my brother and see what we can do to address that. Yeah. That's just one aspect. Now you look at our food bank. You look at how many donations we have to give out. That's what shows you, Little Lamb is rich in cash, but it's people struggling out here. I deal with it. I'm dealing with some stuff now, trying to get people help. And now a lot of the funding is being cut back. Wow. And it's an eye opener. Like you say, you got ready to move out here and you just knew, this is it.
Yeah.
But when you start uncovering stuff, we got issues just like anywhere else that we got to figure out how to address.
Yeah. And it's not just money, it's just a piece of what's going on in the country. There's mental health challenges there.
There you go.
Single parent household, and that comes with its own challenges. And there's still, even though this is a welcoming community, there are still elements of hatred and discrimination that are still going on. So, I just look at you two brothers, out doing what you do. And I'm looking on Facebook every day, and I was telling Ladybug, I'm like, man, I don't see how these guys do it. Like, I thought I was busy, but you got a job, and then you're serving in this capacity, and you have families too. So my next question is that, how do you juggle all that and still make sure that you are present, not just physically, but doing what you need to do as fathers and husbands?
Man, that's go ahead, Jamell.
No, I was going to jump in there. We have great wives.
Say that.
That's number one. We have great wives. Honestly, I ran for office while my wife was pregnant. She allowed me the opportunity to run for office, which shows how selfless she is and how much she cares about the community. But at the same time, with juggling family and things like that, sometimes you have to push the brakes. You have to take that second and be like, hey, I need to do something impactful for my family. I need to do something meaningful for my wife right now, because even though we are out in the public eye and everything looks great, you still have to make sure home is good. If home is not good, we're not able to go out into the community and do our jobs and be the men that we are for other people. So I just look at it as just balancing those scales. I communicate. One of the things that I'm big on with my wife is communicating. We have a working schedule, and when I say a working schedule, it works. We are always making sure that we are holding each other accountable. Where are you going to be? What do you have planned this weekend, this week? So there's not no disconnect there, and that makes it a lot easier for the both of us. So.
Wow, that's
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a great point. Hey, happy wife, happy life. Hands down. I normally introduce my wife as the wind beneath my wings, and I mean that.
Yeah.
Jamell said we could not. Well, we could do it, but we wouldn't be as happy to do it. Mm-hmm. You think about it. If things are off in the house, there's no way we could be all these different places with a smile on our face. Mm-hmm. What you see here is what you get. Yeah. We both been to each other's household. Mm-hmm. Our wives are close. They mentor one another. They support one another because we know we have to have their support. Mm-hmm. Every time somebody get ready to ask, when they ask, I'm thinking about running, whether you're male or female, first thing I ask, have you talked to your spouse about this? Yeah. If your spouse is not on board, don't do it. Yeah. Don't even attempt it, because what you're getting ready to do is you're getting ready to shake up something that didn't necessarily have to be shook up if you would have just communicated. Mm-hmm. So definitely having a very understanding spouse that wants to be involved. If they want to be involved, it's easy for you to be all these different places.
Yeah.
If they don't want to be involved and you leave that door and you don't come back for 6-7 hours, and they looking at you funny, and then things are just what it is. So make sure you got your grounds covered. We don't have small kids. All our kids are grown and gone. But look, that was a balance too.
Yeah.
I've been doing it. I remember 2009, we literally ran all of our campaigns up until this last campaign. That's the very first time we actually had to just say, hey, Lil Am has grown so much, I can't hit all these doors by myself.
Yeah.
But from 2009 up into 2008 up until this point, it was me, my wife, daughter, and the boys. And we figured out how to get it done, and we got them involved. Got everybody involved. It's that balancing, man. But you at the end of the day, it's that spouse that you gotta have that support from.
Yeah, and I met Charlotte, man. She's a beautiful soul, man. So I can attest to what you're saying, man.
It's my boo thing.
Yeah, man. And it's not just when she's around you. I've ran into her out away from you, and and I've had some situation with some people, and it's like, the conversation not the same. So
exactly,
it speaks to you, and I'm sure the same. As Mayor said, the same for you, Jamell. But hey, so real quick, I want to jump to a commercial, and then when we come back from a commercial, we're gonna ask you a couple more questions, and we're gonna close the show.
Sounds good.
All right, man. So then you see how well that was put together. You got to know I didn't do it. So that's off. That's off to my business partner Tamika, man. She put this together today. We just wanted a little something different. But if you've seen what we're doing, man, it's just our passion, likewise, to serve the community. I'm trying to figure out where do we fit best based off where the need is greatest. And what I've learned, and I've shared this with the audience before, in our community, we work our butts off. And if we think we need something to do something, it's like, hey, if I got to put in 50, 60, 80, 90 hours a week, we'll do it. And you know why that may help with a short-term need? Long-term is not a fulfilling, I'm going to use the word healthy way of being. You can literally work yourself to a grave. So we were thinking like, man, how do we make the difference? And one way is changing the mindset, from that. It's like we have passions, we have skill sets that we could potentially monetize. So it's like, what can we do with the youth first? And it's a pitch contest. And it's like, we can try to encourage the youth to start their own business, and not just with the youth, get their parents involved. So one of the things that we're addressing here is how to change the issue with generational wealth in a meaningful way. And that's one way, is understanding wealth better, and also through entrepreneurship. So we're going to be doing an entrepreneurship event there throughout the weekend. And it's going to be a pitch contest where they come and pitch their business ideas. And you gentlemen are going to be part of the panel, and get to pour into them with your ideas and what you see that they can grow in, what they're doing well, that they could sustain, and just encourage them. And some of the prizes that they're going to win is the creation of an LLC, the formation of a website, logo design, commercial creation, personal coaching, business coaching. So people that's hearing this, if you haven't done so yet, please go out to the site and register. And it's not just for kids. It's if you're an adult and you have your business idea too. And even if it's not fully developed, come and pitch it. And, let these men and women who understand business and leadership pour into you. So this next piece, I just want to talk about how y'all are going to help and participate in that weekend. So, the couple things we got is the relationship panel. The second one is the community involvement panel, where we're talking about people's individual role with bettering our community, whether it's our elected officials, religious organizations, individual parents and kids, because there is the self-accountability and responsibility. But just all those aspects will come together, and we'll have the discussion on how we can strengthen our community. So I just want to let's pause right there and let y'all speak on how y'all are going to be involved in what y'all bring to the table in those instances.
Well, I'll jump it off. So I've actually got my master's in business law. I've worked for several Fortune 500 companies. So right now I'm actually a VP. I won't mention the company, but I am a VP at this company, and we do a lot of things. I know a lot about business. I think when you talk about entrepreneurship and the small business realm, it's different. It's completely different, because small businesses, as we know, they make up most of the working class people in our economy today. So I think that I'll definitely emphasize on that a lot when we talk about the pitch competition, and just what market are these children trying to affect? And you talked about it, breaking things and those curses, like adding generational wealth. And you got to look at the economic wealth gap too, and why it's the way it is. So a lot of those discussions will be had. I look forward to seeing their creativity, innovation, and ideas. But also, as I think about the other things that we'll be talking about, is being a local official. You talked about it earlier. How do you represent and be accessible? Those things are extremely important, but it's also other aspects to it, right? We have to govern. What does governing look like for a community? But then also, how do we make sure we're getting to the people, so the policies are really affecting what's going on in our community, and not discouraging people in our community? So there's a lot of pieces there to talk about, but I look forward to being on the panel and talking with our youth about it. So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, definitely when it comes to the youth, this pitch contest. I'm excited about it. We just started just selected our first youth council. So we went through almost 20 interviews, some in Frisco, at Lone Star, and some at Little Elm High School. And I'm telling y'all, the kids are so different now. So I'm interested to see what they come up with and what avenue they're trying to take, because we interviewed some rock stars. I mean, these kids were on point, and they know what they want to do, and to give them the platform to just, you think about it, we all had ideas growing up, whether it was a lemonade stand or, hey, I'm gonna go rake yards or cut yards to make extra money. But just think about it, if we would have given the youth a platform to say, hey, this is what I want to do. Here's my pitch.
Yeah.
How can you help? You mean I can give you a pitch and potentially win an LLC that gets me right out the gate?
Yeah.
And be legit? Man, so when you told me about that, I was like, man, this is a game changer.
Yeah.
So definitely don't, let's not undercut this.
Yeah.
Not at all.
What we're getting ready to do will change people's lives.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited for it and ready to see how this thing works out.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, it's a lot going on, and we can talk about this for hours, but we're gonna wrap this up here. Just go through a couple questions, and then I'm gonna hit one more topic before we close. But my man Superman T Will, he's one of my good friends here. He lives actually in Frisco, one of the neighboring towns. But he said, "Do you offer any programs to educate youth on credit and finances?" And I'll start off with saying, as far as the conversation summit, we will discuss that there this weekend. So in some aspects, we will discuss it. But I'll let you two speak on if there's any focus on that here in Little Elm.
Yeah, there's a huge focus. Like I said, we just started our youth council. So what our youth council will do, they'll basically sit in our place as council members. So now what happens is we have a whole nother thought process with younger minds, basically looking at the community in a different way. What that also allows is them to go back to the schools that they go to and say, hey, we have a huge opportunity for the youth to get involved. We're educating them on what it means to be an elected official. What is your role? And we also have given them resources and making partnerships to educate them on how things should play out. Set yourself up for success. And so there's a lot of different avenues, especially going through Little Elm High School. We have great counselors, a great principal over there that's ready to bring these kids in and show them how to go by treating life outside of the school books. Life skills is what we're teaching.
And we have a really good ISD member, Dr. Thompson.
She's dope, man. I love her, man.
Man,
she really hits home on the finance piece. We actually have a Mayor Math Challenge coming up.
Pi Day 314.
This upcoming Tuesday. So we're really doing things to make sure that our youth are educated around finance. I know that it's a big thing. It's not in a lot of curriculums across America. You don't have financial literacy in the high schools. So we do our jobs to build those community relationships. I think Nigel Jones, who is actually going to be a part of the summit, he actually has a financial book for kids. So that's something that I speak with him all the time about. He probably haven't told you about it.
No.
I can see your face.
Man, I'm glad you told me.
But
he's holding out on you.
He's holding out on you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put him on the spot here, but yeah, he has a financial book for younger kids, and those are things that we're trying to promote and make sure that our kids are prepared to take on life. I mean, when you get into college, you're managing your financial, if it's financial aid, if it's how you're going to live. Are you going to live on campus? Are you going to live off campus? Because I remember that transition. It wasn't too long ago where I was in college, and I'm like, I'm tired of living in dorms. I want to live off campus and move into an apartment. You get into the apartment and you're like, oh, I got utilities, I got food I gotta buy. So
going back to the dorm.
understanding how to, create a budget and things like that is extremely important. So we're gonna keep pushing and building more program, because as we see a influx of people moving here and into our community, it's important that we continue to provide good service and just have those things for our youth and be prepared. So
Hey Gerard, let me piggyback on something real quick.
Okay.
A lot of people ask myself, and I'm sure they ask Jamell, why do you do so much with the kids? Your job is to govern the town, but we always see you guys reaching out to the kids. We didn't do this just to pinpoint any specific age group or nationality. We did this to build up a community, and our kids are our community. We used to say our kids are our future, but you think about it, our kids are our present. They are today. So that's why we try and create great avenues. Mayor's Math Challenge, the Youth Council, all of our HBCU events that give out scholarships on site. It's just amazing how when we pool our resources together, how much we can help this youth and point them in the right direction. We were at an event, and literally now we're connected with a young Black gentleman that is a mathematician, like truly a mathematician. And you never would have thought it until he started talking about, let me show you how to break down 25 times 25. You split the twos off, you move the 5 over. I'm like,
I ain't doing that.
I'm too old for all that. But we have access to a group of kids that can benefit on how to do math. Wow. So we're bringing him in, and it's just, man, the amount of resources we're running into now, we setting these kids up for success.
Yeah.
And that's our job. That's what we're supposed to do.
Man, that's awesome, man. You just met here's Natasha. You met Tasha on a call, I think last year when we were initially planning this. She's coming down. She'll be here, so you get to actually meet her in person. But she says financial wellness is needed and interconnected with overall wellness and health. So kind of piggybacking off what you just stated. So yeah, good info. So I'm gonna put you both on the spot, since I think Nigel, he'll be happy that I'm returning the favor to Jamell. But one thing that I've learned is, man, you network and you build this great community of servant leaders. But the disconnect to someone sometimes is you don't have anybody to serve. So there's been a challenge of this summit. So one thing that we wanted to do is keep it affordable. So it's actually free for kids, and for adults it's only $10. But what we want to see if we can leverage y'all's resources and connections to help us put some bodies in the seat, and particularly for that, well, Saturday too, but Friday evening at 7:00, we got a play that's called Family Matters, or is it Family Ties? Forgive me for not remembering the exact name, but I thought I heard somebody sneaking in my house. Hey, but with this play is going to talk about how to strengthen communication between parents and kids. So there's going to be a couple different scenarios based in there. You got the overbearing parent, you got the parent that's totally disconnected, and then the other one that's just loose by the mouth, and it's going to show how each one of those parenting styles can potentially affect the kids. So it's going to be a great play by Dreamer Productions. It's at 7:00 for kids. Again, this event is free. For adults, it's $10, and we have a media day right before the play where we're interviewing local businesses, anybody that want to come out and get interviewed, get promoted. So it's a lot, and we do need some bodies. So
do you have a flyer?
Yeah,
that we can generate. Send us that flyer, and we'll start posting, and then we'll send it to our contacts and make sure it's out there.
Man, we appreciate that, man. Yeah, for sure. And I want to be
ask not, want not.
That's what my mama told me a long time ago. Yeah. So it's about time for us to shut it down. Y'all got any parting? I know I'm not. Do you have? I'm gonna ask you for your parting thoughts. Any words of encouragement or wisdom that you want to share with people before we sign off?
I'll leave them with this: be you, because everyone else is already taken. That's one of my favorite quotes because a lot of the times we were talking about mental health. We're talking about some of the things that's going on out here in the world right now, and sometimes people have a problem being in their identity, being themselves. And for me, it's been one of the things that I've worked on my whole life is making sure that I'm comfortable in being me and being able to share about myself, my heritage, my culture, my ideas. And with me stepping up and representing the community, this is all about people. I know that I won't be here forever, and I want to be able to show people that we can do it. That representation, specifically for African Americans, it needs to be showed because our youth are looking at it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And those are some great words. So my thought is, and I tell people all the time, don't be afraid to take that next step.
Yeah.
You know what's behind you.
Mm-hmm.
That may or may not have worked, but give yourself the chance to take that next step to see what's over on that other side. We pour into a lot of people. I tell people all the time, with what we do, it's a few things that I tell people to remember. And I govern myself along these same lines. Don't be afraid to show your heart and not your hurt.
Ooh.
And show your peace and not your pain.
Love that.
Because people are, and when you talk about mental health, you never know if you approach a person the wrong way, that may have been, they were already on their last leg.
Yeah.
So start showing people your heart and not your hurt. We all got hurt.
Yeah.
But we can't dwell in it. Yeah. So I tell people, take that next step. Be a better person than you were yesterday, today. So my words of encouragement, I always post something positive on Facebook every day.
Yeah.
And you will be surprised how many people will ping me or message me and say, man, I needed that. Especially I think it was like last week when I posted something and it was something around, don't be afraid to keep going. Never give up. Don't quit. Young man texted me. He was like, I don't know what I would have done if I wouldn't have seen your post, because yesterday I told myself was my last day and I was giving up.
Yeah.
So when I make those posts, I post them for myself as well as other people, because we got to stop giving up. Those days over. We got to stop giving up. Don't be afraid to take that next step. That's where it's at.
Yeah. Man, it got a lot of comments that I forgot. I wasn't even watching. I was tuned in to the words, man. Y'all had me drawn in. I do, for my words of wisdom, I want to punt and hit these two questions right here. One from Superman T. Will. He says, he's asking, is there a way to volunteer to assist with the credit and financial part?
Yes, you can reach out to me by email and I'll get you involved.
Yes.
Be involved.
Thank you.
Like we said, we definitely have access to our youth, and we have a lot of channels that we go through to make sure that we have programming around finance and things. But if that's your expertise and that's your love and that's how you want to service the community, just reach out and we will make sure we get you connected. So.
Yeah. We call him the Superman of real estate because man, he focuses on real estate, but all that's tied in with real estate, the credit, the money management, even just understanding it. So man, he's a great resource, and I'll make sure he has your information
definitely
to share. And this last one before we let you go, do you have a mentor program to teach other leaders how to get involved with their communities and youth?
So we don't have a set platform to teach that, but if you ever want to shadow, anything we do, just reach out. I promise you, we can give you an avenue. Matter of fact, I'm working on my master's right now. Like I really got time, but why not? I'm getting my master's in strategic leadership, and I talk and I mentor a lot of people on how to be not just a leader, how to be an effective leader.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever asks that question, find me on Facebook, get my information from Gerard. I'll point you in the right direction, because we have to show people how to be an effective leader. Leaders are leaders. You can be born a leader, but if you're not being effective at it, then you're not doing what you're called to do. Great question.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, because if you are in Little M and you're in Little M town limits and a residence, we do have a Citizens Government Academy. That's actually how I got involved and bridged that gap into local government here in Texas and in Little M. So it's an opportunity to learn a lot about the community and what goes into service in our community, far as utilities, far as all of the different things that encompasses running a community. And then not only do you get that aspect, but you get a chance to learn about the different organizations, as far as 501c and things like that, that are playing a big part in service in our community. So if you're interested in that, Gerard, make sure you share our information, and we'll definitely get them connected.
I will. So. And for those that don't have my information, if you don't mind, kind of slow read your email address.
Mine is email address.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Mine is JamellTJohnson@gmail.com. It's spelled JamellTJohnson@gmail.
Jamell T. Johnson. Okay.
Mine is C. Cornelius, CCornelius 06, and that's a 06 @gmail.com. C. Cornelius 06 @gmail.com.
Hey, so that's my business partner Tamika, man. She popping everything as y'all talk in the comments. So there's Jamell's, and I knew it was coming. Here's Mayor Cornelius. So hey, go ahead as we prepare to close out, take these email addresses down. And again, and I just appreciate you all, you both coming on, spending your part of your evening with us. You know, to say you're busy is an understatement, but the fact that you're loving what you're doing, you know, and it's a passion of yours, sometimes it don't feel like work. So let me see, maybe she redid it. Maybe we showed it wrong. Okay. C. Cornelius. That was what, okay. Yeah, so we'll leave that up there. So again, audience, y'all know the routine. Are you ready to close out? Like, share, subscribe. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram. And, you know, reach out to these gentlemen on YouTube. But if you're not sharing this information, it's not reaching as far as it can. So please do that. And as we stated, the Conversation Summit is kicking off not this weekend, but next weekend right here, well, neighboring to us in Frisco, the 17th and the 18th, that Friday evening. Register online. There's a lot of information online at theconversationsummit.com. Please go there and register. And okay, man, appreciate everything Tamika's doing. So there's the website again. But again, thank you both. And we're gonna play the intro and let y'all go to y'all's evening.
Run that back.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say run it back so y'all go do the shoulder lean or whatever you want to do.
We're really
doing for you, baby. The floor is yours. Yeah, baby, I mean the floor is yours. If it come down to the floor is yours. Let me show you how I prove the floor is yours. 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 The floor is yours.
Hey, Councilman, you missed your moment of fame, man. Hey,
you want to see the shoulders, huh?
Yeah. Hey, appreciate you all. Appreciate the audience, and we'll see y'all next time.